Yeah, so very exciting day. The junk haulers are going to be coming in a half an hour to or so. That's the window starts to take my stuff out of my storage unit. It'll be taking 80% of the stuff, and then I'll just have a small amount to take to, well, it's not a small amount to take to shredders, it's like 8 boxes or something, but I'm going to take the shredders, the recycling of electronics to do, that I'm going to go ahead and do myself because I need to process some of that stuff, and keepsakes that I need to go through and sort before I take it, the things I'm going to actually keep. I don't know if I'm going to get through all that stuff in the next week and a half before I leave on my trip. However, the junk hauler taking the stuff away means I'm that much closer. In unrelated note, I just remembered that I haven't filed my California tax returns. I need to do that also before I go. So yeah, right now I'm in a parking lot of Target because I want to go to the bathroom before I deal with the junk hauler stuff. And the bathroom at this particular storage place is like by the office, so it doesn't open until 10, I think, is when the office opens. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom here when they open. And there's a whole bunch of cars out here, and I wonder how many of them are waiting for this Target to be open so they can go shopping, and how many of them are waiting for Target to be open so they can go to the bathroom. I don't know. But yeah, I'm in a very good mood because I feel like progress is happening. I'm getting rid of all this stuff. It's one of those things where you're just like, I wish I would have gotten rid of this stuff many years ago. If I would have known about junk haulers, then I think I would have. I actually wasn't aware that there was people you could call to take all the stuff, which is weird because I've been aware of it for a few years, but I wasn't aware of it 10 years ago, I would say. I also wasn't at a point of being able to get rid of stuff. That's one of the biggest things, is that I wasn't psychologically letting things go, where now I'm just like, take it. I'm done. I mean, I had stuff in there, like, it was like I had every email printed and letter and note from everyone who's ever wronged me, in writing at least. And I'm just like, why do I have this stuff? This is not helpful to my life. If I had a house with a backyard or something where I had like a fire pit, I would have like burnt those things in some symbolic kind of way. But and obviously I could take it to a campground and burn it, but I was like, I'm fine with just them hauling it off. But yeah, it is like, and a little bit of it is shredded because if it was actually the point of legalness, I put it in my shredding boxes. But huge progress. I'm very happy with that. I have a big long list of things to do before I go, which is great in the sense of I feel very productive and good about making progress on all these things. So it is probably about 8 o'clock. I'm gonna get ready to go in there and go to the bathroom, and then I'll go back over to the storage place and pretty much just hang out until they get there. Yeah, so I just talked to the manager of this storage unit place, the 10 by 10, and she said that since they got bought out by a new place, they're going to be raising rates between 6 and 25% in the next 6 months or so. And so she said, it's good I'm getting out. Like she's like a very practical person and is not like trying to sell you storage. She's like, no, yeah, you need to get rid of this stuff. So I kind of enjoyed her. The people the junk haulers are on the way, so get very close.
These can be donated. Elizabeth, if you want to just give me a couple minutes, I'm just gonna write the receipt.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, they came, they took the stuff. It cost me almost $1,000. The stuff cost $6.98, and then it was an hour and 30 minutes of labor at $45 per 15 minutes. So $270, that's for 2 guys. The thing is, the college hunks people are not the cheapest. You can definitely find junk haulers that are cheaper, but I really find that they are very professional, very courteous. I feel like they're doing a job. They're not creepy. Just generally speaking, I think that it's a good experience, but it's definitely not the cheapest. But it's done. It's done. It's done. And I hope, and I have a personal goal for my life, to never need junk hauler service again. Where after this, when I get, like, I will accumulate enough stuff where I need to call someone to haul away it and pay thousands of dollars total. If we add up all of the stuff I did with my apartment was $1,600. This was almost $1,000. that is, and this is including the tip, that is like so much money out the door to be done with this. The thing is, that unit was costing me $200 a month, including the insurance. So, and I've had it for more than 10 years. Now, it wasn't always $200 a month, but that's a car. I could have bought a car with it. So about getting rid of all that stuff. Now, I'm actually so hungry. I'm so hungry. I might go to the bathroom. So I'm going over to my significant other's house, who is going to make me a tri-tip sandwich for a tri-tip that they barbecued or smoked or whatever, however they cooked it a couple days ago. And I haven't eaten any of it yet. I don't remember why. I was gone, I guess. Oh, well, that's when I was gone. So, yes, I'm going to get a sandwich of something really good instead of me going to McDonald's. And be able to go to the bathroom and, you know, have water and like sit for a minute. And for the rest of the day, I haven't decided exactly. I do need to spend more time in the storage unit, obviously, to finish getting rid of the rest of the stuff. Like, there's stuff to go to the shredder. There's stuff for the electronics recycling that needs to be processed first. And there's stuff that are keepsakey things that need to be consolidated down. But now I have so much space, it'll be much easier. I have not yet figured out if I'm going to be able to do that in the next week. I'm personally guessing that I won't be able to, and I'm going to have to push finishing this until October. When I get back, I'll get back mid-October, and so it'll be the last half of October when I would finish it. And that means I'll have to pay one more month, but that's fine. I'm not going to like make myself have a nervous breakdown to get this done. But this is a huge step, and now the rest of the getting it done, I don't have to like to hire anybody or outlay all kinds of extra money. It's just on me. Very, very good. The biggest thing is as far as time constraint is the electronics stuff. And yeah, I can't put this all on my 5x10 because it actually is too much to put on my 5x10. I want my 5x10 to be usable. My plan is to get everything that I have in that storage unit left down to like 6 bankers boxes inside. If I can't get it down to that much, then I will put in taller shelves for those 2 shelves that are shorter. And then I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That, you know, then I can have a lot more. But I'd really prefer to kind of keep it down to as much as possible, or maybe I'll get 1 shelving unit. You know, we'll see. But that is the goal. But right now, my goal is eating. I would like to film some videos today for this channel, and then also for my 3rd channel, and because I want to make I have some things that are almost ready to go, but they can't go because they don't have any videos. And it's a nice shirt. It's a good video shirt. One of the weird things about recording all these vlogs is I see which of my shirts look good on me on camera. And so I think over time, I'll be like, I am sick of seeing myself in this shirt. I don't like the way I look in this shirt, you know, kind of thing, and whittling it down to the shirts that I like to edit myself in, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but you know, when you're editing hours and hours of yourself, you get so sick of the way you look and sound. And so anything to make it better for me, not really necessarily how anyone else thinks I look, but me looking at myself, just to make myself not be, you know, annoyed with the way I look. All right, so I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then we'll go from there. Look at this. Look at all that space there. Amazing. So glad. So I still obviously have some stuff to go through, but now I literally have a space to go through with it. So I'm going to show you what I actually have in here. So this is 8 boxes to go to shredding. Containers. I'll use it as my new place. So this is just containers. This is something I'm keeping, which is a bunch of knitting supplies that I didn't realize I had. These 4 boxes, and that. All computers. Every laptop I've ever owned since the 1990s, like late 90s. Like, this is insanity, but I need to like deal with it, is the short version. That's some stuff for clients that I need to give back to them or keep. That's originals. Spray paint that I need to take to hazardous materials. I'm gonna throw that out. This is all stuff for my kid. And then this stuff here is all my keepsakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to call this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, and then we'll call it 12. That's just so much less than there was. Some of this has been gone through a lot, and some has been gone through it all. And I have some pictures This stuff I actually, some of it's professionally framed, so I'll keep the stuff that's professionally framed. And then some of it is stuff that is, the frame isn't nice, so I'm gonna actually pull it out and just keep the pictures. Yes, I have some pictures that I took myself, like this. Artwork from other people, and also my diplomas and certificates and things that I've had professionally framed. And then some of it's just regular pictures, and I think I'll pull the stuff out of the frames. There's no point in storing that indefinitely. But yeah, this is much more stuff that I can go through. I mean, this will all is all gone. This I'll get rid of all. It's just a matter of processing it. This I need to consolidate. I want to consolidate this down to like 2 boxes. I don't know if I'm able to do that. Maybe just those 2 bins, like consolidate all this into those 2 bins, something like that. Yeah, so now I'm at the library and I'm in the parking lot. Obviously, I'm in the parking lot and I am downloading everything off my phone. So I have all my photos and videos on my phone and I need to get that off my phone so I have space on my phone, especially for my trip. This person's the car next to me and they keep revving it. What's up with that? Okay. Anyway, I need to get that all off my phone so I have room on it for my trip. Now, not that I'm not going to bring my laptop on my trip, I totally am, so I could be able to download more stuff. And I'll bring my little external hard drive to download things, but I want to get everything off here so I have a clean slate, and then I will actually delete most of everything off. Not 100%. I'll leave a few photos, like it's helpful to have some like selfie type photos because you end up using that to upload to some new app, or you know, there's like certain things that'll be helpful to have. I'm going to keep some travel pictures that involve the car because I'm going to use that for some projects I'm going to have in the future. So there are certain things that I'll just keep on my phone for use purposes, but most of the stuff I'm going to delete just to make up space because I have a gigantic amount of stuff because I'm recording so much video each day. Now, because I have my new camera that I did start using on Monday when I use it Tuesday morning when I was at the campground. I will also start using that to film things, but I kind of don't have it in my like habit yet, but I plan to do that. And the nice part is it has external, you know, a little SD card. So I have 2 SD cards, but I mean, I could buy more. So like I could use that instead of this. Now, the one thing that camera doesn't have is it does not have extra batteries. So you have to just charge. It doesn't have like extra batteries you can plug into it, which I think is unfortunate. That would actually be a lot better. Now, DJI does have an action cam that's like a GoPro, and that has external batteries, and you can have a whole bunch of batteries. I may eventually get that. The thing is about the GoPro is there's a time where I used it a long time ago, and then I kind of stopped using it because I found that the battery life was so short, which the DJI apparently does a lot better with that. And then also, it was just, I didn't end up using that video, and so it just wasn't very helpful, and the sound quality is not very good. However, I think with the DJI, I'm hoping with the DJI, I could actually use the external mic that I have for the other camera. Like, I'm hoping they're compatible, but I'll have to research that. Obviously, I do not need the DJI at any time, the action camera anytime soon. I can totally do without that for a while. I do not want to spend the money on that right now. The next thing I'll probably add from a camera perspective is a drone, because I'll be borrowing that drone, but first I need to pass my commercial drone pilot license exam. I have done studying for it, but I'm not going to take it in the next week and a half before this trip. I'm just like, that just ain't going to happen. I got too much stuff going on that I need to do. So that'll be something that I do after I get back in the fall and study for that, take that, and then later I can do some trips, maybe some nice desert trips where it's a BLM land and have it be not in the summer BLM land, and be able to take some great drone footage that I can add to all this. So yeah, I am, don't time out computer, downloading all this video, which of course takes forever, but it needs to get done. I'm doing it out here instead of going into the library, because I find if I'm in the library doing something like this, I get really tired because it's like I'm literally just sitting here. You know what I mean? So for things that are tedious like this, it's better for me to be out here. And I'm not parked closer to the library because those spots were all filled. It looks like it's starting to open up, so I'll probably go over there a little bit later, especially when I'm going to go inside. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to go inside at all today, besides going to the restroom. It's a little after 5, the place closes at 7, so I have time if I want to go in there. But I might just stay out here. I wanted to record video today, and I might go ahead and do that. I mean, I'm recording this video, but I mean specific video. So I might go ahead and do that and then I'll be set up for some other things that I want to do. Hey all, so today was a lot of progress, like 10 by 10. Also got the rest of the shredding stuff out there. It's in somebody's car and we're going to take it in tomorrow. So really good progress. I'm honestly not planning to get it cleared out before I go on my trip because I have so much other stuff to do. I have so much work to do for all my various businesses. I actually need to focus on that at this point. But it does mean that I'm set up so when I come back to town, I can clear out the rest of it. When I come back to town in a month, I can clear out the rest of it. Hopefully I will be rejuvenated and be, you know, able to do that. So that's the plan. And between now and when I leave, and I honestly don't know what date I'm going to leave, probably at about a little over a week, I'm going to get a ton of work done. Also, I'm going to be testing out the fridge to see if I can get it set up with my current power station and figure out charging. Like, I actually feel like when I'm traveling, charging won't be a problem at all. It'll be more when I'm stationary in a town like that. Now, one of the big issues is how often do I have to charge up my battery? How much power does that actually use in real life conditions in 24 hours? Like, is it going to run down my battery in one day? Is it going to take multiple days? I'm hoping to go for to not have to charge my battery for every day, to have it be like every other day. And if that's true, then I can charge it using my car and even my single solar panel and stuff, and it will be enough to keep it going. And it's funny because I have had people say, you know, you should put solar on your roof. So here's the thing. I don't ever park in the sun if I can help it, because I'm in the car. I don't want it to be sunny. I want this car to heat up. I don't want, it makes no sense to put solar on this roof. Even if I would want to, because it would make it completely not stealth. I rarely park in the sun because I don't want my car to heat up because I'm in here. And even if I'm going to go into the library or whatever, I don't want the car to be hot when I get back in here. Also, if the car heats up, then it's going to make it harder for whatever cooler or fridge or freezer or whatever you have to work, because the ambient is going to be so much higher. So I think having solar on your roof is great if you have, you know, an RV or some big thing, or even a fairly big cargo van where you have a huge amount of roof space and you can take up a whole lot with solar. But even then, I would still always want some solar panels that are, you know, suitcase panels so I can park my vehicle in the shade and put those in the sun. I think that gives you a lot more flexibility. All right, so I'm gonna read a book for a little bit on my Kindle, and then I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, I think this camera has better night vision than my front facing one. We will see. So today I've been slightly headachy, but not a full migraine. I took Tylenol. I think I'm okay. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully tonight will be okay. I'm just kind of in a weird mood. I've just been doing a lot of work stuff that is very tedious and takes so forever to do, which is, I have this huge amount of video that needs to be uploaded to my cloud archive, which is on Amazon S3. That's the cheapest place to have huge amounts of content. But uploading it is very tedious. I need to do it at the library because the library has the fastest upload. So, but I can't go into the library and do it and just sit there and do it because it's so tedious stuff. I will fall asleep at the library. Weirdly, I won't in my car. I think it's maybe out here. I mean, not here, but out at the library in the parking lot. It's just louder, and because I'm outside, I don't know. So it just takes forever to do that stuff. It has to be done though. I need to get all this content off my laptop so I have more room on my hard drive. I've just been dealing with raw video, dealing with edited video, dealing with all this stuff, files that need to be moved around to different places. And it just takes a really long time, even with the really fast library upload. So I'm almost done with the 10 by 10, but I'm not done, right? I had the junk haulers haul off all that stuff, and then I still have this stuff left. I'm not getting this done the next week because I have to work. I have law firm work to do. I have stuff to do for this channel. I haven't edited any video in a while. I have so much work to do. And I don't regret spending a lot of time on the 10 by 10. It was really, really important that having the junk haulers, get the stuff out as a relief, all the stuff to be shredded is out. So it's just stuff for me to go through. It just requires my time and energy, and I need to spend my time and energy on work because I need to get a whole bunch of work done so I can actually think about my next trip, because I haven't like even decided what day I'm leaving. I can't leave before Tuesday. Tuesday I have at least one client call. I have to leave by Saturday because I need to be at Yellowstone on Monday. And I can say exactly where I'm going because this video won't be posted for a very long time. So I will have already left there. So it's totally fine. It's one of the reasons I post videos weeks after I shoot them. So that way I can talk about places that I'm at, and I'm not there anymore. So it's not a safety issue. Anyway, so I have, I need to plan what day I'm leaving, where I'm going to go, on what day. What days going to be my work days, because that's something I learned from my last trip, is I have to have dedicated work days so I actually can focus on those days and I'm not trying to multitask. And I haven't done that yet because I need to like get a whole bunch of other stuff done first. And I'm still in the middle of the getting stuff done. I mean, I've also done things like update. Oh, like I probably said this in a video already. Why is this? They walk right next to me as I'm shooting a video. So weird. Anyway, I mean, really right next to my window. There's like, there's nobody around me. I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh, my phone was giving me all these problems and I was starting to stress out about, do I need to buy a new phone? You know, this is really important to have this phone work, and, you know, do I need a different hotspot? I updated the operating system, fixed everything. So classic. You have problems with something, update the operating system, or, you know, update the firmware, whatever it is. And sometimes that fixes it. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it actually breaks it. But in this case, it fixed it. I'm so glad. I updated my laptop. I mean, that's one of the things I'm doing right now is backing up everything. I still haven't finished backing up my laptop because I want all the video files off first, and then I can back it up to my cloud backup and back it up to my hard drive backup. I feel like my life is very complicated from a memory management, file management perspective, probably because it is complicated. So anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, a lot of work. One of the big things that's going on right now is because I lost all that revenue from my other YouTube channel that I'm still troubleshooting. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know. I have to replace that income. And this channel is making a little bit of money, so that's cool. So that'll be a little bit of it. But then I need to take some law clients so I am going to need to leave space in my schedule to do that work. Trademark work tends to be, it's not like long, steady work. It's like you do a whole bunch of work now, and then like 9 months later, you do a bunch of work. Like it's very weird, unpredictable in that way. But you do a bunch of the work. Most of the work is front loaded and done at the beginning, usually, unless something goes very wrong, which only happens a little bit of the time. So yeah, I have, I think 4 people who are kind of in the hopper right now. One doesn't want to start till the 1st of October. So that I have another 3 people. And this is just today. You know, I just like told people about it in the last day, or yesterday and today, that I'm doing this. So I'm going to have a few people most likely sign up. I also refinanced some debt to take it from 18% down to a very small percent, and actually deferring the payments for a little bit. So that will help so I can pay off debt that comes due earlier. I'm going to do a video probably, no, I'm not going to do it in the next week because I'm not filming anything like that right now. Probably we'll do it October 1st, but I'm going to start doing videos with actual numbers of all the different debt things. And because like one of the things is like I had a video that went up yesterday that was about how much money I make, and someone posted on there that I was rich because of the thousands of dollars that I make. Now, some of that money disappeared, but putting that aside, the issue is I have literally thousands of dollars a month in debt payment. So before I can buy anything at the grocery store, before I can do anything, I have to pay thousands of dollars of stuff. So it's a huge amount of the money that I make. A super majority of the money I make just goes to pay debt load. And it's interesting when I've talked about that in the past, people are like, well, you know, if that was me, I would just declare bankruptcy. The problem is I own a house. If I actually sold my rental house, I could pay off all my debt, but then I would have nothing, which I don't think makes any sense. That rental house is part of my retirement plan. I don't actually plan to retire. I don't believe in retirement, but part of my taking care of myself when I'm older. That mortgage on that house will be paid off when I'm like 71 or something. So then I could sell that house, buy something to live in, and just live in it without having any rent or mortgage if I need to live somewhere. Or I could sell it, buy a duplex and live in one of them, or I could just keep it and have the person pay me rent. But it gives me a lot of options. And it's a different kind of investment than my, you know, IRA or whatever, which I think is a good thing. Anyway, yeah, I still feel not that great. We'll see how tomorrow is. I haven't decided if I'm going to work out tomorrow, if I'm going to go hiking. I had so many migraines that I really got off my roll with hiking. And then I was dealing with the 10 by 10 storage, and I didn't want to have, you know, I was spending all my physical energy dealing with all that stuff, which was the right thing to do. I've been working out at the gym, but I haven't been going on hikes in the last week or so. I very much enjoy hiking, but I'm not going to do it if I don't feel well. So we'll see how I feel. See how I sleep, what time I wake up, and all that kind of stuff. Also, the big problem today is I had a ton of hot flashes, more than yesterday or the day before. And let's check and see, is my patch still on? Patch is still on as of right this second. I have very little faith, but it's still on. I'm actually checking on it right now. It's still on as of right now. I put it in the front this time so I could actually check on it much easier. I mean, it takes weeks before that kicks in, if it is going to kick in at all. All right, I'm going to go and chill out a little bit before I get ready to go to bed. Talk to you later. Go. So I've been looking at next week about when am I going to leave for my trip. So I'm going to, my first leg is going to Yellowstone. That, from the library where I tend to hang out, that is 14 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. So technically I could do that in 2 days, but I don't want to arrive at my campsite at the end of a 7 or 8 hour driving day. You know, I want to actually get to Yellowstone way earlier than that on that particular day. I was actually thinking, you know, arriving super early in the morning, going to see stuff, and then going to my campsite kind of near the end of the day. Or maybe going and seeing stuff, go to my campsite midday and then go back out there. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how busy Yellowstone is in the 3rd week of September. It'll still be busy, but obviously not as bad as, like, you know, July or something. So if I need to be there on Monday, if I left Sunday, I would actually still be able to get there, but I do not want to be doing long days. For me, driving 7 or 8 hours in a day is a long day. I can go up to 10 hours, but I can't do 14 hours and 45 minutes. Because the thing is, every time you think about how far that drive is, how many hours it is, you have to factor in stopping to go to the bathroom, stopping to get gas, stopping to eat. And while there are people who don't have to stop that much, they can just drive through straight all that time. That ain't me. I'm going to be stopping fairly often to do all those things. So, if I left on Sunday morning, I could do it, but I'd much rather do it in bits and pieces so I can see things along the way. So I put on my calendar that Friday I must leave. If I leave on Friday, then I'm doing that 15 hours over 4 days. And that means that I don't have to do any kind of intense days. You know what I mean? I can do long days if I want to get to a different place, but I can actually go places along the way, which is what I would like to do. I'd like to be able to go on some hikes. I'd like to be able to do some adaptation to the elevation, etc. So that way, by the time I get to Yellowstone, I can actually hike a little bit at elevation and kind of in that mode. Now, that also means that I'm going to be driving mostly over the weekend, which is good from the perspective of people won't expect me to be doing, you know, legal work or whatever over the weekend. So I'm bringing in some more clients because since I lost the revenue, most of the revenue from that legal channel, I need more income. So I decided, I'm going to open up to a bunch more clients, and which is what I'm doing right now. So typically there are people who expect lawyers to reply to them on the weekend, but most people are not expecting that. And I don't do that anyway. So during the week, next week, that means I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to finish up work. Besides, right now it's only Friday, so I will do some stuff on the weekend too, but to finish up work and prep for the trip, test the fridge, all these things that need to be done way before the trip is. That's if I leave on Friday. So I could think of Thursday as being trip prep. I might actually end up leaving earlier than Friday. Friday is more like, that's my drop dead. That's when I need to stop prepping and I need to head out the door early Friday morning. What I'd probably do is on the day that I leave, I'll probably, go to Planet Fitness, take a shower, and then get on the road. So I'm on the road super early to beat traffic. I definitely don't want to get caught up in traffic because I'm going to be going from the Bay Area to Nevada through like kind of the Tahoe area. And I do not want to get caught up in Tahoe weekend traffic. So I need to be on the road early. That's one of the reasons I don't want to leave on Saturday, because I've been in that Saturday morning Tahoe traffic and it sucks. Okay. I do not want to be in that, thinking that leaving on Friday in the morning early, like 6 a.m. or something, will avoid that problem. Tuesday I have a client call. I need to put that on my calendar. And then besides that, yeah, I mean, it's going to be doing a bunch of work, trying to get a whole bunch of videos edited up on this channel, getting all that client work done. I'm not going to worry. I moved the 10 by 10 storage down to a lower priority, because even though it'd be great to get that completely done by next week, that's a whole lot of work, mostly dealing with all the electronics that I have to figure out what to do with all these hard drives and computers that are, some of them are literally 20 years old. You know, how do I deal with that? And I haven't figured that out yet. I might just yank out the hard drives and have them be shredded, but that costs money, you know, so, and I'm already paying all this money for all these papers to be shredded. So I don't know if I'm up for dealing with that right this second. I think it's more important for me to do my work and prep for the trip, because the trip has strict deadlines, because I made camping reservations, which I'm glad about. I think in national parks, it can be very helpful to actually stay in the park, especially for parks that are gigantic like Yellowstone. The next time I go to Yellowstone, I'm actually going to, my thought is, have campsites in different places. So like I made 3 nights in one campground, and I don't regret doing that, because I think that will be helpful, because I can kind of set up camp and put things in the bear locker and all that stuff. But I think what I would do next time is I would go to have each night be in a different place, and then I could kind of, or maybe 2 nights here, 2 nights here, 2 nights here. You know what I mean? Like, so I could be in different parts of the park, because it's like a chunk of a state. It's a huge park. Yeah. So I also need to plan out the trip in the sense of other places I'm going to go, and big thing is what days I'm going to work, to make sure that I have chimes to work where I'm actually in a place where I can connectivity, etc. I am feeling really good about where I'm at and this trip being in a week. So if it's Friday right now and I'm going to be leaving on a Friday at the latest, it's a week away. Yay. I've been here for so long without going on a trip. I mean, I went on that one night camping, which was very, very good and very rejuvenating, but I haven't actually gone on a real road trip in so long now, it feels like, that this feels very normal and almost is weird to be leaving in it, but weird to go by. All right, I'm going to get back to editing video and doing all the various other work that I need to do. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. So I just saw on the news that the CPAP maker, Philips Respironic, has agreed to a settlement from a class action that I guess I'm in. I'm in so many class actions. Like, that's like an American thing, I think. We're all in a billion class actions. To pay out $400 and something million, and that we'll get awards for each recall device ranging from $55 to $1,500. That's a really wide range. So it took me 2 years, I think, to get my device fixed. I don't even use that device anymore, because I, during that time, wasn't going to use something that might hurt me. So I bought another CPAP. Which is my travel one, which ended up being a good thing to have. But so we're supposed to get some of that money. Well, and the judge hasn't actually approved the settlement yet, but I'm not holding my breath, but maybe that would be nice to get. I mean, in a way, it'd be like the travel CPAP was paid for, you know, but we'll see. So a little update, and we have started testing the fridge. I say we because my significant other, who is an electrical engineer, is helping me deal with the electrical stuff. Wonderful to have a resource like that. So we tested the fridge plugged into their solar attached to their RV. They have a camp trailer. And so that worked. It got down to freezing. So we know that it works, at least in that configuration. Right now, they have a bunch of water in water bottles freezing in their freezer that's in their kitchen. And so once that's all frozen, then we're going to test it, or I'm going to test it. I think I'll put it in my car with the freezer at freezer setting, full of frozen stuff, and hooked up to my battery, which is also charged all the way up to 100%, my big battery, and then see how it goes in real life conditions. We're going to fill it completely full. And so then we'll be able to see it's not going to run efficient unless it's full. So completely full of frozen stuff, which will be those water bottles, and then also get some freezer packs that they have in their freezer. And see how it runs for a day or two and see how much does it drain down my battery. Do I need to change the settings? Does it stop working? You know, how efficient is it, etc. I need to be able to put it somewhere in the car, so I want to put it in real conditions, you know. So it's going to go behind me. The stuff that's behind me, some of it will stay there, and then some of it will actually just go in my bed. I for the time being, I don't know. I don't have a good solution for where that stuff goes, where my soft cooler goes, and then the other thing that's back there is like clothes, like pajamas and blankets. Blankets could go on my bed. That's fine. And I'm probably going to have my clothes when I'm traveling. I'm probably going to put clothes inside the car because it's just an easier thing to put in the car and I can throw it on my bed. So yeah, I haven't really figured out that stuff, but I have to have enough space back there so both the fridge and the battery can vent, because otherwise they won't run efficiently unless they're both able to vent well. And they need to be close enough so I can plug them into the 12 volt of the car. Haven't decided if I'm going to plug in, you know, like I'm actually leaning towards not plugging the fridge directly into the car, but plugging the battery into the car. And, you know, it's in a way more inefficient, and just, but like charge through. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably do it different ways, but I'm feeling very motivated to figure this out, and hopefully I will. Yeah. So good day of being productive and getting a bunch of things crossed off the list. So I got all that old archive video. It's not really old. Some of it's from like yesterday, but I got all the archive video uploaded to Amazon S3 so I could delete it off my hard drive on my laptop, and I have a lot more space in my laptop. I was able to start editing video again for this channel. I got a video edited. I started uploading it, but I had some problems uploading it. I don't know why, so I'm gonna probably have to try that again tomorrow. It's actually a huge file. It's like 5 gigs. Video is like an hour and 20 minutes or something. It's a very long one. So I was able to start doing that, which I'm really glad about, and able to kind of get back into it again and have a different kind of perspective, because it's been a while since I've edited a video for this channel. So, and the video is from a few weeks ago, so it's kind of interesting editing something that's from a while ago. And started testing the fridge. So the fridge, I think I talked about this earlier, the fridge works when plugged into solar. So yeah, good progress on getting ready for my trip. I'm leaving like a week from now. I will be on the trip, not before. So got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of work to do. Primarily is what I'm focusing on, and prepping for the trip, and the first thing to work out is the fridge. Once I know whether or not I'm taking the fridge, using it as a freezer, whatever, then I will know what else I can pack, because it's going to take up a lot of space in the car. And I'm only taking it if it's going to work well, you know. It's hard because those things take up a lot of space. Even the one I got, which is one of the little Appy Cool ones, it's not that big, but still. All right, I'm going to go and relax before bed. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, so I've been starting to plan my trip, which is exciting now that it's actually like I'm leaving less than a week. I'm finally thinking about it. The first thing I did was I went on my calendar in Google Calendar and scheduled out work days, because this is something that did not work on my last trip. I had trouble multitasking, enjoying life and working, you know, so I need to have dedicated work days. And that, as I have actual campground reservations, that helps lend myself to be able to know which days it's going to be. So I have 3 nights at a campground, and then I'm going to have 2 work days, and then 1 day that's just not allocated for anything. So I'll just go somewhere and do something. Or I could work if I need to, but I'd rather like leave some days open. Then I have 3 nights at another campground, and then I'm going to have 2 work days. The work days are Friday, Saturday. Saturdays aren't really a good day to go do a lot of stuff anyway, because, well, at places that are near cities, it's not a good place to go on the weekends. Now at big parks, sometimes the weekends are big parks that are far, far away from a city. Sometimes the weekends are actually a good time to go. It everywhere is a little bit different. But anyway, then the next week, I kind of don't have anything specific planned. So Sunday, Monday, I kind of have off. Tuesday, Wednesday work. Tuesday will be a client call day if I have any client calls. Thursday off. Friday, Saturday work. Sunday and Monday off. That Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day or Columbus Day, depending on what part of the country you're in and whether or not you're observing one thing or the other. Then have Tuesday, Wednesday be work day. Then I'm in Albuquerque at the Balloon Fiesta. Then I will be driving back to California because I'm going to Channel Island. So I won't have any work days for a week. And then then I'll be back in California, and then I will be regrouping. And I'll see, am I going to come back up here right away to Northern California or the Bay Area, or am I going to stay down
in Southern California. Southern California is harder to live in your car. So I wouldn't really be in like LA or San Diego, even though I used to live in San Diego, absolutely beautiful place, but I'm not going to try to live in a car in San Diego. So I'm not up for challenging the legalities of their laws that make it illegal to sleep in your car. So I would probably go out to the desert because by then it's October. It would be a great time, but I also may be ready to come back here. So I'm going to take enough meds to go until late October. There will be a point where I'll have to come up here to just, you know, regroup with all my stuff and everything. I also want to switch out things. So like I'm going to be bringing both summer clothes and fall, almost winter clothes with me on this trip because I'm going to be at elevation and it will be chilly there, especially in the mornings and evenings. Well, the evenings I'll be in bed, especially in the mornings. But at a certain point of it in October, I can put away this stuff, right? And I will not need it for a while. Probably I'll come back and then regroup at a certain point. But yeah, I'm really glad that I set aside that time. And then I started tentatively planning out trips. So between Yellowstone and the North Rim is a drive that I would do in 2 days. And then about halfway is Salt Lake. So my thought is I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 nights in between. And 2 of those days I'm going to be working. So I'll do that in somewhere around the Salt Lake area. Might be in Provo, might be in a town outside. I don't know, but somewhere in that part of the world. I have not looked into what it's like sleeping in a car in that part of the world, so we shall see. And then I have not planned out exactly where I'm going to be after the whole Grand Canyon stuff. I might go to different places in Utah or Arizona. I might just go straight over to New Mexico. One of the things I may go do is, I will most likely do, is try to go see my land in New Mexico. It all depends on weather and all that kind of stuff, of course, too. New Mexico, I think it would be a good place to go camping and things, and I definitely want to explore that state a lot more. I have been there, but more to driving through than spending a huge amount of time. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Now I can actually think about it, and I'm glad that I planned out those work days, so I'm being realistic about things. Today, I'm hoping to start the fridge experiment to see if I can not get too stressed out about dealing with the fridge and managing all that. I'm not taking the fridge with me unless I feel like I can deal with it. So I don't want to have a freak out and be far, far away from here. I actually, in some ways, think it'll be easier to deal with when I'm traveling because I'll have hours when I'm driving. And if I'm driving for 4 hours, that can fill up my battery, you know. So I'm thinking that would work even easier. One thing that does worry me is I have 2 batteries plus all my devices. I only have 2 12-volt plugs, and I don't want to like have a splitter or something because I think that would be pulling too much power from my car. I mean, this is just a Honda Civic. So I have to fill up my CPAP and then also fill up the big battery, which isn't even in here right now, for the fridge, and then also just charge my devices and stuff like that. Obviously I can charge my devices off one of the batteries, but that just means the battery gets drained on more. So I don't know if it really is actually that helpful. I'm not 100% sure how it would work, you know? And I know that there's all these people that do these things. The problem is that everybody has slightly different situation. They have different way they travel, how big their vehicle is, how much solar they have, what part of the country they're in. And so there's a lot of different factors. And, you know, just putting solar on your roof, if I put solar on my roof, I have to park in the sun. And I don't want to do that because I'm in the car a lot of the time. You know, so there's a lot of things that people put as the easiest, obvious solution. It's actually not true. It applies to a lot of situations, but not all of them. I was just watching a video by someone who she actually was talking about how she had to go, she was parked in the shade in this lovely spot and she had to go literally drive out into the middle of nothing so she could just fill up her batteries, you know, and be in the sun. So putting solar on your roof means you got to park in the sun. So really how I get power most of the time is using this as a generator. Now I can bring the batteries in somewhere and plug them in, but they're loud. So the little battery is so small, I would feel very comfortable bringing it in somewhere and plugging it in as long as it's not a super quiet place that this is going to bother anybody. The big battery is so freaking obvious. I think it's too obvious to bring into like a Starbucks and plug it in. The little battery though, I could have in my backpack. I'm going to go ahead and get further started on my day. I'm back doing my routines. I think the fact that I'm using my allergy medicine much more religiously is really helping my allergies, especially, and also I'm not going to be going into my 10x10 storage for a little bit, so that'll help too. Having all that stuff out of my 10x10, you know, they took most of the worst stuff in the sense of the dust. So that, I'm sure that will make a big difference when I get back. And that's the other thing, is I won't stay away for the entire month of October because I need to clean out that storage room before the end of October. I realized I wasn't going to be able to do it this next week and then also get all my work done and also be able to go get everything ready for my trip. But what I'm going to do is come back in the mid-October. At that point, then I will finish up the 10x10 and be out of that storage room.
Decided to get some flautas from a random place that I've never been to before, so we'll see how these are. They actually threw in a bunch of guac, so that's kind of nice. Hey y'all, so I went and got flautas at like a little Mexican place, little taco place that I've never been to before. Felt very authentic because everyone was speaking Spanish there. It was me and one other person who came in speaking English. The other person actually got a huge order and he had scrubs on, like he was going to the hospital. So anyway, they were good. And I think next time I went there, I would get tacos, but I haven't had flautas in so long. I was like, oh, I have to get these. So I think the flautas were $9, which I think was a very reasonable price. And I was thinking about today, if I'm going to go out to eat, I don't want to go to just like, you know, generic fast food that I've had a gazillion times. I want to go try new places and have new things and have things that I specifically like. This was actually spicy. Like I felt a little bit of spiciness in my mouth, not the flautas, but the salsa. It's like, it seemed like it was homemade salsa. It's actually spicy. It was good. They actually gave me both green and red salsa. I had the red salsa with the flautas, and then they had served it with a bunch of lettuce, and I actually ate the lettuce as a salad and then like put the green salsa all over that. And it ended up being really good with some sour cream and the guac. So that was really good, a really satisfying meal. It felt like a treat. I paid with cash. So I think I've talked about this before, is I was going to do the envelope system, which ended up not working for me very well because so many places you can't even use cash. But I withdrew like $500 of cash and put them in all these envelopes and did all this stuff. So I had like $500 of cash. And so I've kind of, and this was like months ago before I was living on the road. So I decided that cash is kind of my treat myself money because it was already allocated, you know, I'm not gonna put it back in the checking account. So for things like this, for going out to eat, like this was $9 and change. So it was like $10. I did give them a tip. So it was a total of $11, which I think is great for actually real food. You know, that a person, like people cooked. I could see them in the open kitchen actually making the food right there, you know? So I enjoyed it. It felt like a treat. It was fun. I got the food in there and came out to my car. And that's what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do is whenever I do go out to eat, just picking some random, you know, mom and pop, whatever place that, and obviously I'll look at the prices and make sure it's something that is inexpensive. But I think that makes it life much more enjoyable, you know, and things just taste different. I mean, flautas are kind of standard. They don't have a lot of stuff in them, but like the homemade salsas and stuff that actually tasted different, you know, was actually spicy. So that's my new plan for going out to eat. I'm going to try to eat less, you know, McDonald's and Panera Bread and these kind of, and Panda Express and stuff, and actually eat more little random places, random Mexican places, random Chinese places. So I am about now to go head over to the other part of town to go to the library. I have a video to finish uploading that's like halfway uploaded, and then for this channel, and then I have all kinds of videos to edit for this channel, and so that's my thing to work on this weekend. All right, so here's what it looks like before. We got the soft cooler, we got a giant pile of blankets, and we got my stuff organized. So this is all gonna have to change to get the freezer in here. Okay, so right now the freezer has kicked off, and so this looks like it's gonna run for infinity, which obviously isn't true. When the freezer is actually going, then it'll say 14 hours, but obviously it's not gonna run constantly. It's not even running right now. I have it just set to 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I know 0 would be better, but I think this is going to be good enough. It's on eco mode and on medium volt protection, whatever that's called. In here, show real quick. It's just got a bunch of frozen things just so it keeps it frozen. All right, so this fits in the space fine. My other stuff does not quite fit in there. You can see my cooler's just sitting on my bed. My blankets are over there, but that's totally fine. But the main part is that this fits. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in this configuration. We're just trying to have it be somewhere. I have the vents up on this. this is not going to go here. The vent's up on this just to give it some airflow. And then the other side has the airflow on the bedside. This should be fine here because this is like got holes in it. So I think the fact that the vent's here should be fine there. And this side, I just need to make sure that blankets don't cover up that. This is where most of the venting happens. This is where it's warm. I think that will drive me up a wall, and the nighttime, maybe I'll flip this around, going the other way. I don't actually know. I haven't really decided. This is more convenient to get at it when I'm outside, but if I was inside, I wouldn't be able to get to this because it opens up this way. I haven't really figured that out, but it's a start. It's already at 95%. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this. So it looks like it's actually a lot cooler in there than what it says it is. It uses it's hard to tell how much electricity it's actually using. It says it's supposed to do 45. I guess maybe it's averaging 45.